Hello, my name is Robert Pulver, and I've been chosen today to be on the jury for Jacob Jones versus St. Ashford General Hospital. I wanted to go over a few points that led me to my decision in Beverly versus Jacob Jones. Taking into all accounts, I started off with some information from the critical care nurses' knowledge of confidential legislation, stating that sharing of information over the telephone and in general, patients have to give permission for someone else to get information about their medical condition or their position. So, as I reflect on that information given, Beverly did not have authorization to give the information to Jacob Jones's daughter. But as we take a step back and look at the four ethical principles in healthcare, which are autonomy, non maleficence, justice, and beneficence, we can get a better look at what is going on in the overall picture. From an ethical standpoint, we talk about autonomy and Jacob Jones' decision to be in control of his healthcare and personal information. At no point in time did Beverly have that disclosure of information to give to Jacob Jones's daughter in regards to his health care. And as we focus on autonomy, it is ultimately up to Jacob Jones in regards to his health care. And if we focus on bringing his daughter to the numerous appointments, Jacob Jones was still present and in control of those decisions and information being given while his daughter is present. As we move on to non-maleficence and beneficence standpoint, the plaintiff was trying to do something that is normally unwarranted, but was attempting to get information to the patient that she felt was necessary. Although she attempted Jacob Jones's primary form of communication, which was his work telephone number, she ended up not being able to reach him and then moving to the next mode of communication. She was not trying to do harm from an ethical standpoint, which I understand, but unfortunately, Beverly is not in a position to make that decision from a legal standpoint. Ethical standpoint may have given Beverly the opportunity, depending on that information, that she felt it was dire to get that information to Mr. Jacob Jones, but we are not privy to that information. As we move on and focus on the justice, it's not fair to release information, and we can point out that Beverly has not had an issue for 15 years at St. Ashford General Hospital. Why the change of heart now and the change in her four ethical principles to start giving out personal information? The Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health Information Act of 2009 defined a breach as the unauthorized acquisition, access, use, or disclosure of personal health information that compromised the security or privacy of that information in such a way that it posted a significant risk of financial, reputational, or other harm to the affected individual. That's what brought me to my decision. I think from an ethical standpoint, Beverly did what she felt was right at the time, which was to get information to Mr. Jacob Jones as quickly as possible, and being unable to communicate through his preferred telephone communication number, she went to the next source and made assumptions. Unfortunately, in healthcare and legal issues, you cannot make an assumption when it comes to HIPAA and disclosure of information. At no point in time was Beverly given a disclosure of information liability form or information into Jacob Jones's chart to release that information accordingly to his daughter. I did take into account the fact that his daughter was brought to numerous healthcare appointments, and as I made reference, Jacob Jones was in control of the situation and present. Unfortunately, when the telephone call occurred, Jacob Jones was not present and did not understand or have an option to filter that information to his daughter or be a part of any of that healthcare decision making. That is why I've ultimately come to my decision in the Jacob Jones versus St. Ashford General Hospital case in favor of the plaintiff, Jacob Jones. I feel Beverly did not act to do harm to Mr. Jacob Jones, but we are in a court of law, and from a legal standpoint, Beverly did not act in compliance with HIPAA accordingly. I do realize that St. Ashford General Hospital has made the statement they will try to rectify things and provide additional training in HIPAA, which I think is fair and just, but that does not take back the information and the telephone call that took place between Beverly and Jacob Jones's daughter. For that reason only, I have to favor for Jacob Jones that his information was given without his personal disclosure of information to next of kin. Thank you for your time, and thank you for allowing me to give my decision.